Hello awesome people, what is going on? It's Brad Fusion here and welcome to a game called Pulsar Lost Colony, which was only recently just brought to my attention as a friend of mine was streaming the game and it looked rather interesting, and from the time I played the game I have to agree that the game is actually pretty damn cool and I think it needs to be brought to everyone else's attention. Now the game is still in development, but don't let that push you aside just yet. Let me actually explain the basics of the game first and whether or not that will actually deter you. Now for me, this game feels very much like FTL mixed with the game that I played last year called Rodina, which is a planetary or galaxy exploration type game, and you'll see how those actually come into play in a little bit here in a while. Now this is a co-op game, though you can play with AI, though I do very much stress and recommend playing with your friends as it's a lot more enjoyable, and I just don't really like playing with AI in games. It's just me personally, and these AI don't really feel too great, even though they are confident in their systems or in their area of expertise. I just don't prefer, I just prefer playing with players anyways, but it's really up to you how you decide to go about this. Now, I will try to explain the game as quickly and as basically as I can, because there's a lot to cover in this game, especially when it comes to the ship systems, but I'll get to that when we basically just create a game. Now, you can go to play and just go start a new crew or join a crew. This is how your main operations will go. Starting crew will allow you to create a private game if you desire. This is where you can play with AI and so on, or you can let your friends join via a password and such. But I'm actually going to load a game because we found a nice galaxy that has a few planets nearby that I kind of want to show you guys as well. So let's go into the continue here. And I didn't actually save the game, so let's go with a new game and we'll see how this goes. So you can enter your ship name and your private crew, which in case you'll enter in a password. I don't care for the password right now because I'm only going to be playing this by myself today, but I'll get you guys the AI as well. Now on the next screen we have the ship selection. Now you can steal other ships in the game from AI, and that's kind of a little bit of a tricky process, especially doing it by myself, but I hope that maybe we can pull it off. I don't think we will though. I don't think we'll get to that opportunity in today's video, but the three ships you can choose from here are the Intrepid, the WD Cruiser, and the Stargazer. The Intrepid to me reminds me of kind of, I think Star Trek inspired, kind of like the Enterprise in a way. You'll usually see by the interior. Each ship has a different interior and exterior, obviously. The WD Cruiser, for me, I can't really, this was hardest to relate to anything, but I think to me it kind of reminds me of Battlestar Galactica. And then you have the Stargazer, which is obviously Firefly. There's no way you can say this does not remind you of Firefly in any way, and that is the ship we're going to be playing with today, the Stargazer, which I'm going to call from now on the Valaran Firefly. So let's jump in and engage. Now, actually, before we do that, each ship has their own components, which kind of shows off how every ship functions. The ship has, you know, this much cargo slots, the sensors and everything on board, the programs that we have to begin with, and you can see that on the other ships as well. If we go back to starting crew here, I accidentally pressed the button too many times, but you can see the components here of this one. Same basic amount of cargo space, the processors and such. Pretty basic here. The different types of weapons. The railgun's quite nice, even though the Firefly doesn't actually have that. I pressed it again. God damn it, my mistake. Okay, let's actually go in with the Stargazer, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Now, once you're all in the game, you're greeted with basically a role choosing screen. Now, each role brings their own perks and benefits to the table that no other class can actually bring. For example, the pilot can control the ship a little faster and a little better than everyone else can, as where the scientist can probably execute programs a little faster, breach the enemy's firewalls a little bit better on, and the weapons guy can access certain weapons, and I think they have probably faster cooldown times and such. As with the engineers, probably, I don't know what the engineers actually good at. Probably to do with the back end of the ship. I haven't really played as too many of these classes. I've only really had experience as the pilot and as the captain. So even today I'm only going to have to play as the captain because we're playing by ourselves, and the AI can't really handle the captain position, as why would they? The captain's usually a role for a human. That's probably going to spark a little bit of debate, but anyway, between androids and humans. Anyway, let's go as the captain here, and I'll explain the basics of the bridge before moving on to any other area of the ship. And again, I'll try to do this as briefly as possible. Now the ship and the bridge is actually quite nice. I quite like this bridge because you have a really nice view. This is where the captain will stand just to observe everything, which I quite like. And we seem to be in front of a ruined ship right here, which actually looks really quite cool. But anyway, let me just explain the basic systems here. I'll start from the front to the back. So this here is your cargo. These cargo blocks is where you would store basically ship components that you find on your exploration. Smaller items will go into different storage altogether, but when I showed you guys the ship components here, this is the cargo. This is these, basically. So you'll see them. By the way, this game will have Oculus support. I want to say that because you can see my feet, just as a clear sign. I really want to play this up with the Oculus, even though I don't have one. My friend does. I really want to see what this game would look like in the Oculus. But anyway, moving on from here. Let's go back and let's show you guys the basic. The first thing first, the piloting terminal. Now this is where the pilot will most likely spend all of his days. He can interact with this by pressing the R key, and when you do that you have a third person camera where you can see your ship and such. You can control it as such. I'm not really going to go over the controls and everything. You guys can figure that out if you guys ever decide to play the game. There is a pretty big manual that I do recommend reading. I only just quickly scanned over it, so I don't know everything about the game, though I do know a basic amount. There are two control methods, manual and auto. I prefer manual. Honestly, it controls better for me, but some people might like the other one a little bit better. Again, completely up to you with how you decide to do things. Even when the ship is drifting, you can walk. It's perfectly fine. There's no latency issues as far as I can tell with walking around a ship when a ship's moving. It's perfectly fine, which is great. Now let's move on to the next terminal, which is kind of, I think, where the engineer will spend some of his time, though not really, because the engineer will most likely be in the back side of the ship, though this is kind of just the basic controls for everything. So you can turn off certain things if you don't need it, for example the spotlight, which is the thing that you saw on the front of the ship. You can turn off the interior lights if you want, even though it's kind of a little bit too dark. You do have a flashlight, though it's too dark and creepy for me to keep that off. You can turn off basically whatever you want on the ship to keep your basic powered low, and I think that does reduce your core temperature. Again, I'm still very new to the game, despite having a few hours experience. I don't know everything there is to know about the game and the game's functionality and how everything works, especially with the roles I haven't actually played. But here you can set the maximum, basically the maximum something can get up to. So the science lab is currently running right now. I believe that is for the oxygen generation, maybe. I think maybe if I turn that off that might decrease it. No, I thought maybe it would have. Oh no, so that increases our maximum that we can actually get. So if I turn this on right now, you guys can see the maximum is actually decreased for our total usage. I don't know what's actually used in the science right now. I assume that was the oxygen system, though I can't be too sure. And then we had the jump preparation for when we want to jump between the stars or different waypoints, and I'll show you guys the map actually right now. Now this is the map for the most part. Let me actually find where we are in the galaxy. We are actually down here next to a commander. So this is the system we're at, the 1160. Now places for the most part are numbers, and with their numbers they're usually going to be empty or with enemies. Now the place I really want to find is a place with a name, because if it's a named place it's going to have a planet, and I really want to show you guys how planets work. Hopefully not a hostile one. I don't think there's any planets nearby, sadly. The circle is actually our jump range, by the way, if you didn't actually know. Obviously you wouldn't have unless you played the game before. I really hope to find a planet nearby. Apparently there's nothing. That's rather disappointing. Still nothing anywhere nearby? One. Nice. Oh, here we go. We found a place. And that is 3 jumps. So I think we can get there. And there's this one here, which is... Sorry. I forgot that when you mark out multiple locations, it does that. That's 3 jumps as well. So we'll go to this one first, I guess. Is there anything nearby that would make this even more worthwhile? There's nothing as far as I can tell. This is quite an empty system. I guess there's this here as well. So you can actually mark out different paths or multi-step paths, which is quite nice. And the pilot will see this when they fly around in their own view. Since we are on this screen here, let me show you guys the other systems here. So the captain's orders can change the alert level, of the ship, which changes it at the top right here as well. You can see it's in yellow alert right now. Red alert is basically danger, or we're under attack, and so on and so forth. And we can actually change our orders. This affects the AI for the most part, even though it lets other people know what's going on. So if I, for example, tell us to explore, that will basically give the order to the AI and such to go down to the planet to explore, stay close to the captain to protect me, offensive attack, defend the ship, so on and so forth. But the basic order is just relax. Now we do have, again, I can add the bots. I'll add them in just a moment. Communication is used to communicate between places nearby, whether they're enemies, stores, or anything. Some places you can actually beam down to, though automated trading stations you cannot, because they are obviously automated. You have inventory. Every player has their own inventory, and every player has their own locker. I can't access everyone's locker, sorry, but the only inventory hang on, where is it? Yeah, sorry. I can access everyone's locker, I believe, but everyone has their own personal inventory that I can't access. So you can see my inventory here with a phase pistol, repair gun, and fire extinguisher, because you can get under fire on your ship. Now, the talents here. This is where you can have your own perks and benefits. For example, the captain's main area here, like the first four, everyone can gain access to, but the ones in your personalized color here are for that role only. So I can get increased run speed, which is going to be definitely more very effective, as you'll need to run around to manage the ship. So don't pass it up thinking it's something silly, because it actually does help you quite considerably. And you can see the I can't actually see the other roles right now. I think if I add the AI, you guys can see that. And missions, which were only just recently added in the game, you can get that. I think that depends on your reputation with the people as to whether or not you can find or gain any missions. Though I think that might actually be related to the commanders that you can find, which, for example, there's one right here. The other markers that you see on the map, this one here, for example, this spinny star in a circle, that's actually a jump area. Basically allows you to jump to other warp drives in the system. You can see over there, and for a little bit of money, basically saves you jumping time and such, but it does cost you a little bit of money. You then have the commanders, which I showed you guys. This cross symbol here amongst the, where's the dollar sign? Somewhere here. Yes, these two symbols are basically representation of stores, though I haven't been to this one. I think this might be a big trading hub, though I can't be certain because I haven't actually gone to one myself, though we might end up going to one once we've marked out a path, though that's a few more jumps away to get there. Who knows, we might actually manage to do that in today's video. Anyway, that's it for the basics of this little tab. You can access that anytime by pressing tab, by the way. This here, again, is coolant. This is when the ship starts getting a little bit too hot. You can apply coolant. This will pump at all times, given that it's actually turned on low or high. And this will, again, decrease the temperature, making the ship last a little bit longer at the high, basically, operational range. The jump fuel, or the fuel capsules, are used, I think, per jump, for the most part, or there can be a few jumps per capsule. I can't remember exactly how that works. I think it's really dependent on the jump drive you purchase, and you have distress signals if you want to distress to anyone. You can, by the way, I'm interacting with these using left click to do everything for the most part. Obviously it's not too good if you have your weapon out, which I basically suggest putting your weapon away when you're interacting with displays and stuff. Moving back here, we have the scientist area, which is the computer, the virus, and the sensors. Sensors are pretty self-explanatory. These are what's detected. Enemy vessels, for the most part, will not be detected straight away, so you're going to have to scan for them yourself using the EM scanner like such, and that'll scan. That will emit a little bit of energy as we do that, but it will allow us to scan for anyone else in the system. This here is our computer. This is where we can, I think, change our shields from energy deflection to physical deflection, though physical will increase our signature quite substantially, so you want to keep that down unless we are coming up against physical weaponry, which is non-laser or non-energy based, obviously. You can search for stuff. I don't necessarily know how this works. I haven't really had too much experience with this, though I'm thinking that might be other galaxies we can travel to. I don't know. I have searched for an SE thing once, and I found something, though I don't know what it was. Oh, I found something again. Has planet? No. Wherever this is, I have no idea. I think if I select that... No, actually, I have no idea. Apparently I searched for something, but it doesn't even have a planet anyway. Now, the programs is... Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, sorry. The programs is kind of interesting because these are kind of like buffs and debuffs of sorts. If you want to go into like a kind of gamey sense. The ones with the white borders are your buffs. These are shield boosting for a limited time, instant warp charge, this is great for getting out of emergencies, and then you have this thrust boost which increases the ship's speed momentarily for 30 seconds. The ones darker here are viruses. Now these can be uploaded to nearby enemy vessels. The sitting duck obviously disables their engines for 60 seconds. The Phalanx basically, I think, yeah, disable shield recharge. The Gentleman's Welcome disables their quantum shields. Now the quantum shields, I believe, are the shields protecting their teleportation pad. Now if you disable their teleportation pad shields, the quantum shields, that should allow you to warp into the enemy vessel. And once you're inside, you can use your guns to take out the crew and to steal their ship. That's one way of definitely doing things. Then you have the Siphon, which is to steal credits. And then you have a random virus, which is, well, just random. I think it's just... can choose what it wants to do. You have no idea. Now you can receive viruses yourself. You'll notice either by the systems will be flickering quite crazily, or it'll tell you up here with the amount of time the virus has left. Now I don't know if you can force the virus to be removed. You might be able to buy programs to do that. I have no idea because I haven't gone to that point, or I haven't seen anything to buy to actually remove viruses. I do think that the programs and viruses are actually expendable. I'm not too sure because I have seen the ability to purchase the viruses that we already have at stores. Whether or not this means that they can be expired, I don't necessarily know. I think that might be to do with the little circles you see underneath of it as well. The way, let's just try it anyways. Let's see if that actually expires it. Or maybe it has a certain amount of time before it can be used again. I'm not entirely too sure. I think having multiple might decrease your cooldown for that time needed. But again, I can't say for certain. But anyway, let's go on to showing guys the rest of the ship. Starting with this screen here, which you'll see everywhere in the ship. This is the captain's basic summary of the ship's status. 20 meaning everything over here is full on health, so you've got the main engineering side of things, you've got the weapons, you've got the hydroponics, which is oxygen, and the science stuff. You've got the shields, the hull, the reactor status, the quantum shields, and the oxygen, I believe. The O2 delta is oxygen, I can't be too sure about that. But again, if these are full, that's basically indicating that the status is okay. 20 means okay, and 0 meaning that it's damaged or broken completely. That said, that's it for the main front part. This is just weaponry controls. I think this is only for the weapon guy, though I think we can change what the weapon will target here. This is the shield piercer, which is the the only missile that we currently have. It's great against that shields, and we only have 10 of them, so this can actually be expired. We do have other weapons though, and I'll get to them in a moment. Let's go back through this door here. Now this is the main reason why I love this ship, this Stargazer, because it has a really nice laid-back feel to it. It's not completely militarized with no customization anyway. This has a really nice feel. So you've got this table here where everyone can sit down, relax, kind of oriental feel to it, really nice, and then you have a bar. What spaceship has a bar in it that looks this badass? This ship does. And this ship, I think, looks really cool because of that. So, yeah, you can't really interact with it, at least not yet. I mean, I guess I can sit on the table and do a little bit of a dance for everyone. Yay, look at me. But, that's about it for... It's just a nice aesthetic to me anyways. I find it looks rather nice. And then back here you have the captain's room, where again the captain has the display, the captain has his own locker, his bed and everything that he can kind of just... It's kind of role-playing in a way, and you can see the FTL feel by having to manage your systems and go between each room and such as needed. But this here is actually one of the weapon controls. This is the laser turret, which is on the front side, at least one of our top weapons, sorry, that we can shoot like such. Laser turrets are quite nice. I do prefer the railguns, though they do take time to fire. They're more physical. Lasers are obviously energy-based weaponry. But let's go downstairs now, where I can show you guys the rest of the ship. There's another cargo place, by the way. A lot of the cargo storage is actually downstairs. There's two ways you can go downstairs. We can go from the front bridge or from back here, as you guys can see this room here as well. So yeah, you can come down here, and again, light if need be. A little bit of storage space, and if we come down, again, more displays and stuff. This is actually, let's show you here first. So we have, yeah, more storage space. This is kind of like the kitchen, I guess. A little bit, I do like the ship quite a lot. It's just the way it's laid out, the way it looks is quite nice, at least to me anyways. So we go back here. This leads us to, I can't remember what exactly this actually is. I think this is the quantum shield generator, and this one over here is the... I can't remember. I really can't remember. My mistake for saying that, but yeah, I don't know what those actually do. Anyway, back here we have the main area of the ship. So we have our teleportation pad, where we can choose to teleport to any planet or any ship nearby, given that they're actually scanned. Main display again. We have the scientist area, where they have the computer, the sensors, and the virus screens again. You have over here, which is the weapon room. This is the big weapon on the ship. I can't use this because I'm not the weapons guy. I don't have the perk, which the perk is this one here, the advanced operator. The weapon guy starts with this automatically, so he can always access this weapon. And this here, I think, is weapons computer. And you can see his display down here. So this is where the weapons guy will probably be for the most time. And he has quick access to a laser turret here as well, which is the other one, as you guys can see. Now, here we have a bathroom. Kind of cool, I guess. I don't know what you find cool about a bathroom, but it's there nonetheless. Now, there are these suits, by the way. I wanted to point this out as well. These are these EVA suits. At least that's what I'm going to be calling them. You do have the option, if you go into ship components, for an airlock. Now, I'm really hoping this means that there's a way to leave your ship to repair it externally, though I can't say for sure right now. I have no idea. We do have a jetpack though, and I'll show you guys that once we get to an actual planet. Heading further back here, there was actually something popped up here. I thought that was something else. Apparently not. But yeah, heading further back here, again, more space for storage and such. And back here is where the engineer will spend most of his time. So you have the core safety toggle. You have, I think, what is this actually? Manual program charging station. I think this might actually increase the charge time for these programs here. I'm not entirely too sure about that. I think you actually do need to charge them. I have no idea how this actually works, because again, I haven't played as the engineer myself, so I would have no idea what this actually does. Now, again, more of the display here for the engineer. More managing. I think that's actually the main core health status back there, and you can see this here. This looks really cool when the ship's actually warming up, or when we're charging to jump, or when the lights are off. It actually looks really nice. Here's the system OS with a few flick switches. Do not press this if you don't know what you're doing, because you can shut down the ship entirely, like that. Looks cool, I guess, but yeah, not something you really want to do. And basically, you have to restart the ship at that point. So turn the lever, boot the OS system. Once that's booted, you pull lever 2, you then prime the warp core, and then pull lever 3, and system is all active. That's how you restart the system. Now there's this here as well, which is emergency core ejection. I don't know how to do that myself, or how this actually works, but I'll leave it there for now. And by the way, you might notice all these displays are offline. That basically requires you to come over here and turn everything on using that there. That happens when the system is shut down, so that can all turn off. But yeah, in here we have the basic crew rooms, 2 beds on this side, 2 beds on this side. Again, quite nice, quite compact. I do like how this ship has the bedrooms separate. The other ships have the bedrooms in the kitchen, within the bathroom and such. Everything's all kind of tied into one. I don't like that. Me personally, I don't like that. That to me is horrible. As with this one, has the bathroom over here, and again the kitchen at the front of the ship. So that's the basics of the ship layout. Kind of glad I got that done as fast as possible. This here might be the crew hatch. This here might be the exit. I don't know. I don't know what this is or what this does. I can't interact with it, but it is in several places on each ship. So I don't know, again, what that is, what that's actually for. This here, by the way, I didn't show you guys this. This is where you'll respawn, if you actually have a respawn available to you, or if that's actually even turned on, you can respawn there. I think that might be what this is actually for, your life support kind of respawny doobalaki. But anyway, let's head back to the top of the ship, and we'll be moving on to our next location. That way I can actually show you guys how that all works. Let's go to the front of the bridge here. Now, we do have our location set, I believe. We have our path laid out here for us. So let us get us lined up with our next jump location, which if I press space, you guys can see it's just over there right in front of us. So if I rotate the ship, it'll glow blue to see that we're actually aligned. And then we'll prep our warp, jump prep, which actually sounds really cool. So, preparing. and you can see this here is actually increased. So you can hear the drive charging up. You can see that this is actually using more power, and so on and so forth. So let us turn our spotlights off again, so we can get a little bit of a boost here. But once this is charged up, we can then jump. It's basically just calculating the jump, preparing our warp drive, and once it's done, the finalization will pick up, and then we'll be able to jump, which is really quite cool. So jumping is really nice. It actually does take time. You can skip that. The host of the game can skip that. It's not the captain, the actual host. So keep that in mind. So I think that's actually the sign of it being done. So let us jump to SE 549. And now we're in warp. And again, you can walk anywhere you want around your ship. It's quite bright right now. But from back here, you can see, you know, you're in warp. It's so nice being able to do all this stuff in real time. This is what I hope to see from Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. This kind of stuff where you work together with your crew. You can kind of go around. If I go back to the screen, by the way, you can see that we're currently in warp like such. It sounds creepy, but it's kind of cool. But again, I can skip this just to make this go a little bit faster for us. So I'm going to drop out right now by holding down the space, which allows cursor movement, and just pressing the skip button, which drops us out right away. Now what I want to do is I want to get us lined up the next location, which you kind of already are exactly lined up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare our jump straight away. What we can do whenever you jump out is it's always good to scan, so you can see if there's anyone else nearby. Hopefully there's no one nearby, but just in case there is anyone nearby, you'll know about it. And anyone who's nearby can also upload viruses. So we have a security drone which is 10 k's away, and they are slowly closing, and you can see that it has detected me. It's currently hostile and armed, and it is matching. It's matched to GX entry 11. Don't know what that actually means, but that is bad news, because unless we can jump out of here before it gets here, it will probably shoot and kill us. So what I can do, we can jump anyway. So yeah, let's jump. There we go. Lucky for us, anyways. And you can see our fuel capsules are slowly going down as we jump here. But it takes a little bit of time before you can do the skipping. I believe it's just like the loading time kind of thing. You can actually see the map here where we're actually jumping. So we're one more jump away from our next destination. This is us taking our time getting here, which I think is really, really cool. I love this game. It's just so... It's not peaceful, because there's a lot of situations where you're going to come into combat, and for the most part I've been skipping that. Also, whilst we're here, let me actually add AI. So we'll add a scientist, we'll add a weapon bot, and we'll add a engineer bot. These will basically control their main systems. This is kind of a creepy player model, but you know, what are you going to do for an early development game? Now, the cool thing about these guys, since we're still in warp right now, we might as well explain this as we can. You can set their priorities, which is really quite nice. So I can tell them to use programs quite often. You know, I don't sensor sweep, so I can turn that down to ignore low, and so on. Or, you know, tell them to always do that, stay close to me. Fire patrol, and so it's really quite nice that I can actually do this. So for the engineer guy, I can tell him to go on to Menace Station as often as he can. Fire patrol, repair systems, not so much repel, not so much man turrets, don't board enemies, and you can see how this actually works. So this is really quite nice. So I'm going to get him focused on everything else. Reactor safety, minimize power usage to a decent level, and that's how you can manage everything, which is really nice. So you don't need to do that for players. Obviously you can just tell them what you want them to do, but this is what you'll do for the bots. So really quite nice. Anyway, we're about to jump out here, so we should align ourselves with the next destination when we get to it. And everyone right now is just manning what they're doing. I don't know where the weapons guy went. I think he actually went downstairs to control his weapon. But here we are jumping out now. As you can see, there is a crew level increase, but we need to see our next location, which is up there. Now I don't know who that A is. They're not... I don't know if they're hostile. No, apparently they're not hostile. They're green right now. And they haven't opened fire. So, by the way, this is how flying works. I should show you guys how flying works. Again, it's just basically press left click to... Oh, okay, they are hostile. Jesus Christ. Get us out of here. Yeah, prep, warp, go. Again, easy if there's players. I could probably tell them to do that, but for now, it's nothing I can really do. So if I go overview, red alert, defend the ship, and that hopefully will get them to focus on defense. Oh, and I can change, yeah, auto target hostile ships, target him, and that should hopefully get my weapons guy to fire weapons if need be. Oh, hang on, let me make sure I'm lined up still. And yeah, you can see our weapons are now firing, missiles are firing as well. Oh, decent amount of damage there. Are we actually going to get him? Come on, one more shot, one more shot. There we go, amazing. So yeah, the crew, it can work. We haven't lost any hull damage, though we did lose some shields here. So we can actually scan. The small security vessels you cannot board. I know that because they don't have any oxygen. I should have shown you guys that as well on the screen over here. But after we do a quick scan, we can see if there's anything else. There's nothing else here, so we're fine. And our charging is still charging because we were just in a sticky situation where our core temp actually was increased because of the combat that we're on. The energy weapons obviously increase our combat as well, but it's not our combat, sorry, our temperature. But let's jump to the next system, and we should be at a planet. So this will be cool. This is a minute away, but I can obviously skip there if I decide to. Now again, this is a randomly generated game, so there might be the chance of coming across similar structures and so on and so forth. Obviously that's the downside to a randomly generated type game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this computer here, so you guys can see this screen. Sorry, actually no, let's not do that. I want you guys to see the planet when we come out of warp. So I'm going to go to the screen here, go skip, and you guys will see the planet. Look at that. That is so cool. It's a snowy one too, by the seams, or not a snowy, but an icy planet. Really, really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take the crew with me. I'm going to tell the crew to come alongside. So if I do this, I'm going to go with stay close to the captain, yellow alert, and I'm hoping that will now get everyone. Yeah, see, they're going to follow me. So the yellow alert basically puts them on alert. So what we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs now. Sorry, the wrong way, guys. Let's go down here. Let's go down to the planet, and we're going to explore. So yeah, so we're going to come down here. And we're going to go to the planet teleportation pad. So we're going to click that. And here we are on the planet. Okay, cool. It's a big tower, a big facility here. So, yeah, if we come across any hostiles, our guys will shoot. But I think for now we might actually be safe. I don't know. So let's go check this out. Let's go see what else there is to see here. So let's go inside this building, see if there's anything in here. So this is a terraforming station. Now, inside here, actually, I'm going to tell the guys to actually explore. So, let's go explore. But keep on alert. So, they're going to now hopefully go and find whatever they can find. We have an elevator here, which is quite nice. I do like the interactable displays. It very much reminds me of, I think it was Doom 3 that did this. I think Doom 3 was one of the early games I actually played that did do that. I think, anyway, I could be mistaken. But let's go down here. I very much liked that when I played. I think it was Doom that did that. And I very much liked it when they did do that, because it was so, for me at the time, so amazing and surprising that a game could actually do that. But, anything in here? What I'm looking for, you can probably pick up basic stuff, but I'm looking for any signs of weaponry or any cargo we can take. Or people, I guess. Though I kind of get the feeling there isn't anyone left here. Either the station was abandoned, or there was no need for the people to stay around. Is there anything over here real quick? No. Let's go upstairs then and see what's upstairs. So we go to floor 2, like such, and oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty. So you can probably see why I relate this game a lot to Radina as well, if anyone ever actually played that game. It's a very good exploration game, because it has very similar mechanics where you can walk around your ship, you can explore a galaxy and such, but that is all done in real time, kind of like how this does, but this has kind of like a more hidden loading time thing going on. Oh, we have some zesty jerky sticks, lovely. Some sand shark fillet, however you wanted to say that, that's quite nice. Now, what else is there around here? Oh, hang on. Oh, some more beef jerky. I was really hoping to find a weapon, though I could be just kind of skipping over everything real quick and not noticing it. Nothing in there, though. But, oh, that's enter surface. I guess we can... Oh, here's something. We have a standard jump module, damn it. But we can sell that, so at least we have that going for us. And we have a CCG hull military grade. Very nice. I can actually install that and show you guys how that works as well. And here we have a classic biscuit, a bacon... not bacon strips, more beef jerky, and we'll just take that with us as well. Is there anything upstairs here before we leave? So this kind of has, at least to me, when I was playing this before earlier today, it reminded me and my friend a lot of Star Trek. Traveling to different planets, getting out, doing exploration, doing diplomatic stuff. You can meet and talk to AI. There's definitely planets or places that have AI on them. This just happens to be one that doesn't. Which is kind of sad. I was hoping to find and interact with people, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, I believe I did see a planet like this once before. There's something over there as well. We need to go check that out before we leave here. So, again, if you won for... Oh, what is that? Ooh, I almost missed that. I didn't realize there was anything up here. Okay, so we just got ourselves a new weapon too, which is quite nice. Well, let me actually equip that. So we go to our inventory here, we can see everything that we picked up. I don't know if these guys actually found anything. I don't think they did. They got increased, oh, he obviously has an increased weapon by default. But what we're going to do is we're going to equip our heavy beam pistol weapon by dragging it up, and then there we put it up there. So now we equip that like such. You can see the weapon, and... Ooh, fancy. Well, it's a little more fancy than our other weapon. Anyway, let's go into here. Now, if we go upstairs, I probably won't show you guys too much more of the game, as I've gone on for a very long time already, just showing you guys the basics. But hopefully this is a clear indication of, or at least gives you a good enough idea of whether or not you'd be one to like this game, or to want this game. Because I very much do like this game. For what it is, for what it offers, and the amount of fun you can have with your friends. Because I did know there was a game that came out recently that was kind of very much like this, but it was more just bridge operation, and it wasn't really that 3D interactive space where you can walk around a ship or anything. And I do like how this actually does allow that, which is really, really nice. So let us go down here. Actually, what am I doing? We have a jump jetpack. I should have been using that a little bit more often. I'm forgetting that we completely had it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off here, and I'm going to use it here. There we go, perfect. So to use your jump jetpack, you just double tap space, and that'll allow you to get a little bit of a burst. If you hold it down, it does last a little longer. Is there anyone actually out here? No, I was really hoping that... I just saw a bed, so I was like, oh, maybe there's someone here. No, there isn't, sadly. Nothing here at all. That's disappointing. I did see something up there. What is that up there? Let's go check that out. Let's sprint up the hill and see if we can... Why sprint, Brad? There is something up here. Hello. What are you? You're a table or a chair. And you have some rations and some candy. Okay, I guess that was maybe not worthwhile, but it is what it is, I guess. Let's go down here now. I think that's it for this place. I don't think there's anything else to explore, so we're going to head back to our ship. I mean, there probably was a lot to explore, but I don't want to spoil and ruin everything for you guys, so I'm going to leave something there for your imagination. Now, I don't think you can warp back to your ship at any time, though I do think if the ship's about to jump out of the system, it will warp you back automatically. Oh, here they are. Hi, Science Bot and a Weapon Bot. Come on, let's stick close to me now. Let's can we board the ship? I guess just stay close to me. We'll probably get them to come after me. So yeah, let's go back to the ship now, and they should join us whether we warp or whatnot. So let's go back up to teleportation pad here. Nice. Now I do believe the stuff that we've just gotten, if I go upstairs, you guys should be able to see it on the front side here. Here we go. So here's the jump module, and there's the military grade hull armor. Now I don't know if we can equip that via just using this interface. I do think you might have to pay someone to equip that for you, but let's just give that a try anyway. So if we go drag this over here, can we actually equip that, or do we have to maybe take that off first? No, that's what made me think, because there was the option at the starting area to install components or to buy stuff. So I'm guessing that's how they would work. You pay someone to install the stuff that you found, which again is quite nice. I do love this view. The purple skybox with the blue planet is just really, really nice. At least to me. I mean, look at that. How is that not beautiful in a really weird way? To me, it is anyway. So what we're gonna do now, I think we've done as much as I kind of want to show off in today's video. Hopefully that gives you guys a really basic understanding of what this game is and how this game plays, because again, it is a really, really good game. At least in my opinion, it is. If you're one for, again, kind of like FTL ship management, but you want to do it in like a 3D Star Trek type space, you can definitely do that in this game. This game has that to the top, to the teeth. I couldn't think of the expression, the right expression to use now. I'm actually going to rotate the ship around so we can see the planet a little bit more. There we go. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, I'm going to have to leave this here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you are interested in getting the game, just let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this game in the comments down below. If you guys have any questions about the game, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and stay awesome, everyone.